Hello everybody, welcome back to another Space Engineers video, and today we're just going to be talking over our little friend here, just kind of looking over through the stream of everything that is, just a quick breakdown of everything that we know is going to be coming in within the heavy industry update, at least everything that's going to be coming in for free. So as we can see here, right now we have the basic 1x1 small grid merge block, which is actually something that I've been needing for a little while, but then I found out I could just use rotor heads. But I'm pretty sure that there's plenty of other things people can use to build this. You know, like if a more complex missile, I really can't think. Anyways, next up is the small grid magnetic magnetic. It's a magnetic locking mechanism. That's what I'm gonna say. It's a smaller landing pad. All right, and it's going to be very useful, very helpful for building more compact ship designs as well as more compact weapons. This is actually something I could really use for a bomber, personally, because it's small, doesn't hang off the wings too much, you can go flat down in there, just gently pick up the bombs with it, fold the wings back up and take off, and you're all set and good to go. That's one thing I can think of to use this for. I'm also going to use, what we're going to see up next is the large grid variant. For a current ship I use, known as the Dresden. Actually, I'm going to use this on a lot of my large grid ships because the landing gear just kind of sticks out in a very awkward spot and it doesn't really look very nice. So this is actually something that I do really need just to make my ships look less awkward when they land, because it's a tiny little stick that they sit up on, even though that their rear thrust is like this giant pillar that comes down, and that itself is like a far better landing gear in itself is just a whole pillar, and this will actually be able to make it look like it's actually sitting down on that pier much better than using a landing gear, because like I said, that landing gear sticks out, it's kind of ugly. But I'm also thinking of a couple of weapons that are going to be really freaking annoying that come along with this, and that will be much more compact, much harder to hit, and are going to be a lot easier to transport. Ooh. So, up next we have the big red button. More than likely just going to be a decorative block. This might be free DLC, I don't know. This does seem like a type of switch block that they would have to be DLC, because it functions kind of worse actually than a regular default button panel, because it looks like it only has 3 buttons on there, but it's probably only going to have the 2 yellow buttons on the bottom, more than likely going to be decoration, though it would not surprise me if they weren't. But, you know, compared to the 4 button panel that we already have, this is a little bit of a downgrade, but it does look rather nice. Much better than the bar with the 4 buttons. This is actually a bar, this is a better aesthetic improvement. And so up next is the most recent reveal that I know of, and it is going to be the... Come on, man, show. So, and the most recent thing that has been announced to release is, of course, the armor plates. Like I said before in my live stream breakdown, which go watch that because I do have a few pointers, I do have a few ideas that I have shared within there. But this is actually going to be good for making more open ships, paper thin ships, things that are up. I mean, if you want to mass produce little fighters, this is probably going to be the way to really help you mass produce them, because it does have a large grid and a small grid variant, as well as a light and a heavy for each of the 2 variants that I've already listed. So 4 different variants in total, a total of 64 brand new blocks, like he said within the live stream. And these are basically armor panels. You place these on top of your current armor or your flat surfaces. This can actually help out further with your detailing and your mixing of colors, because as you can see right there with the way of how the white overlays on the red, you can actually create some very interesting patterns using different colors and different camo designs. So this is actually a very good addition. And on top of that, it would also be great to use this for airplanes, like the wings, rather than those big, thick, bulky wings or those awkward, chunky chunks. We have a much thinner, more wing-like, more sleek type of block. This can also be used to build small forts, like we saw earlier in the small structure they built right there. can be used to build smaller forts or bunkers or just little PvP areas, and just create a lot thinner cover that's actually going to be easier to move around rather than having to walk all the way around some giant brick, or not brick, some giant block. This is actually more of a wall, and I think this will also help out in building maybe some replicas of some houses, because this does indeed look like something that we can actually use as basically the thinness of an actual wall. It's thin. It is very thin, and it's really good to use. I'm literally just thinking of a whole lot of these off the top of my head. And that's going to conclude it for the rest of this video, guys. Peace out.